Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be bringing you a Sova guide. This is for people who are trying to learn Sova. It's a more of a basic guide. Let's get straight into it. Alright, so let's talk about Sova's main ability, and that's going to be his Recon Dart. So basically it's going to be a dart that you can shoot on any surface, and once it lands, it's going to start scanning the area, and anybody within its line of sight is going to be revealed. The longer you hold down left click, the farther it'll go, and you can also add up to 2 bounces on it.
Scanning ahead. Revealing area. Revealing area. Scanning ahead. Revealing area. Revealing area.
Alright, and this is what it looks like when you successfully scan people with the
Revealing
dart.
area. There they are.
As you can see people through walls. Basically what you're trying to do with this dart is when you're on offense is you're trying to reveal people on sight so you have more information on where they are, or if you're on defense you get information on where the enemies are trying to attack. And most of the time, since this ability recharges, you should be using it at the beginning of the round. With Sova's Recon Dart and some of his other abilities, you want to avoid peeking out in the open where enemies can easily kill you to use your dart, and you want to actually find some lineups where you can shoot it from a safe spot
Revealing area.
and still scan everybody on sight. And I'm going to be showing you guys some lineups on all of the maps, that way you can be effective with the Recon Dart. So Sova's second ability is going to be his shock darts. So they function similarly to the Recon Dart in that they have a charge bar and you can set up to 2 bounces. But what these do is,
Shock dart.
wherever you shoot them in a certain radius, it's going to damage people. In the center of the radius, it's going to do 90 damage, and then the farther away that they are from the center, the damage is going to drop off. So usually, if you at least hit one of your darts on someone dead on, you should be able to kill them in 2 darts. Shock darts are really good for stopping people from pushing, stopping people from planning on default spots on sites. It's good for getting people in corners when they're not peeking. But keep in mind, same with the Recon Dart, try to avoid being out in the open when you're using your shock darts, because you can easily die. And also, I would not recommend trying to shock dart people in like a 1v1, because most of the time you're going to get caught with your ability out.
Shock dart.
Sova's first ability is going to be his owl drone.
Deploying drone.
So basically you deploy a little drone with a camera on it, and you can look around and you can left click to ping enemies. And when you do that, it's going to reveal them to the wall, similar to what his Recon Dart does. So Sova's drone is really good for clearing corners, retaking sites. It's really good for getting information when you don't have your dart up. It's also really good for setting up a kill for your ult, because you'll be able to see the enemy through walls, and his ult goes through walls, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And you can also have your teammates follow your drone up, so when you're clearing corners, if you see somebody, they can get the kill off that. And finally, we have Sova's ult. So basically his ult is going to be, you fire 3 like long range energy blasts that can go through walls. And it's going to be in a straight line. And it does, I believe, 90 or 80 damage. But if you hit someone twice with it, it'll kill them for sure. And when you hit someone, it reveals them. So if you hit someone once with it, it's kind of easy to track them and hit them again through walls. So let me show you what that looks like. So one strategy to kill people with it is to deploy Recon Drone. And you can ping someone,
Enemy.
activate it. There he goes, he's dead. You can also go for another kill. See, I just got another person. And he was low. So if you can, try to reveal someone first, or reveal enemies first, before you use your ult. So like use your Recon Dart, or use your drone. The drone makes it the easiest since it pings them 3 times. So you'll be able to see them through walls. But basically, you want to try to get picks off of your ult, or you can use it to try to stop an enemy's push. Even if you don't have people revealed, if you generally know where people are, or like where they usually play on site, or you see them on the radar, you can just pop it right away and try to get some kills. But it can honestly be a really good ult, and it can turn around a lot of matches with it. One thing to keep in mind is that you have a timer on it, so make sure you get all 3 of your blasts before time runs out. And also, if you need to cancel it early, you can do that. So you just press the whatever you have your ult button set to, so just press X again, and you can actually put it away. So sometimes people will try to push you while you're using your ult, and just remember that you can cancel it, and that way you can kill them when they're trying to push up on you. And this is really important for like 1v1s or you're trying to clutch. It's really good to play for ult when you're after you planted the bomb on offense, and basically you can just wait till someone tries to defuse and then pop your ult, shoot it wherever the bomb is. If they try to push you, you can just cancel it and then kill them. Another little bonus tip for his ult is that it can actually take out a Killjoy ult. So if you hit it directly twice, it'll actually destroy the ult. So that's a really useful counter to Killjoy ult. Alright, now for Sova's pistol buys. So there's a couple options that you have. On offense, I'd recommend going the Owl Drone and Light Armor. The Owl Drone is really useful on offense because it can help you clear corners when you're trying to push up on site. And it's a lot safer than sending one of your teammates or you up to clear the corner because you could die. And then the Classic is a little bit easier to use on offense because it's kind of flexible. You know, if you're long range, you can just kind of do the regular fire, but if you're close range, you do right click. So it's really flexible for the attackers. If you want, you could do like if you want to upgrade your pistol, you could do like Frenzy and then 2 Shock Darts, or Ghost, 2 Shock Darts. The Shock Darts are a little bit harder to use on offense. You can use them to like clear corners if you want, but I think the drone would be a lot better at doing that. And on defense, I would say most of the time you're going to be doing 2 Shock Darts and then whatever pistol you want. So like most of the time I would say Ghost and 2 Shock Darts, because you're not going to be having to push up with it, and you're going to be taking like a certain position with it. Or you could do like a Frenzy, or even you could even do Light Armor and stick with your Classic, like if it's split or something like close quarters. Or even if you're on Breeze, you know, just go Sheriff and just use your Recon Dart, and that's all you'd need to. So you kind of have a lot more options, I would say, on defense, but on offense, I would definitely recommend going Owl Drone and Light Armor. In terms of what maps you should be playing Sova on, most of the maps in the game are really good for Sova, with the exception of Split and Fracture. So both Split and Fracture are hard for Sova because his Recon Dart doesn't really work that well because there's a lot of close quarters areas, a lot of short distance angles, and there's so many places for the other team to hide from your dart. And there's not really any good spots to shoot your dart where it can scan, like, for example, most of a site, most of main. He just has a hard time generally on these maps with his utility. So I would avoid playing him on Split and Fracture, but for every other map, so Ascent, Bind, Breeze, Icebox, Haven, all great maps for Sova. Alright, so for defense on Ascent, the best place to play Sova on Ascent would be B, and the reason is that his dart is really good for getting information in B main, and this dart is like super easy actually. All you have to do is either shoot at the ceiling right here, or you can do like a bounce.
Revealing area.
But basically, you just want to shoot it somewhere in B main right here. And even if you don't scan anybody, if they shoot it, you'll still know that they're there. And one thing that you can do with Sova at this site is you can get an Odin, or an Ares, or even like a Guardian op, or a Sheriff, anything that has high penetration. And after you do your dart,
Revealing area.
you can spam the wall right here. And it's a very common strategy for Sovas on this map to do so. You just have to make sure you're not shooting this crate when you're doing it. But you can just sit here, sit like right about here, and you can use your radar to aim through the wall instead of like looking at your actual reticle. And you can also just see on the map where all the players are. That'll make it easier to spam through the wall. But just be careful because they might catch on and start spamming you through the wall. But yeah, that's really the only dart you need to know on this site. But also, if you want to help your teammates mid, you can do a dart to tiles. So basically, you want to put your crosshair right above this bell tower over here, and do a 2-bar.
Scanning ahead.
Make sure that lands. And it'll land right here, and I'll scan anybody in tiles right here. And it can also scan people if they're pushed up cat, like right up to here. So there's another good dart that you can do to support your teammates at mid. If you're trying to retake B on defense, there's a couple darts you could do. You have to be careful because there's not a dart that you can really do from far away in a safe spot. You're gonna have to like peek out right here a little bit, so just be careful that anybody's trying to push you from stairs or someone's at boathouse. But after you clear those angles, you go ahead and aim at this tree,
Revealing area.
and that's gonna get everybody lane, and that's also gonna get everybody on site. They can hide from it like behind these crates, or they can hide from it obviously if they're backside in boathouse. But it should get most of this site and make it easier for you to retake. Another spot you can shoot the dart for retake on this site is you want to aim at this little middle part here,
Scanning ahead.
and that'll have an easier time scanning anybody in the lane, and it'll also scan everybody on site. Sometimes you can get people if they're like peeking from boathouse, but the thing is, it can't really catch people tucked away in this corner, so just keep that in mind when you're using this dart. And if you're playing A on Ascent, there's a couple darts you could do. So one dart you can do if you just tuck yourself into this corner near where the window is right here. All you have to do is put your charge bar like right above these leaves right here. So you see where the leaves kind of jut out right here. You can just put it like right here, and you just do
Revealing
one
area.
click. You don't have to charge it at all, and it's gonna get everybody right here. Another one you can do is up here. Basically, you can just do a full charge beginning of the round,
Scanning ahead.
jump, and it'll land back here. This one's a little bit hard to shoot, but it'll get everybody right here, except for if they hide behind here. And if you're doing a retake, a really good dart, so you see that metal like kind of cannon thing right there, not this one, but the one behind it. Just do a full charge,
Scanning ahead.
jump, and that's going to get everybody behind Jen. It's going to get people anywhere on the site behind Dice, and it's also going to get people that are seeing like bricks or switch. Alright, now for offense on Ascent. So for B site, one of the best darts you can do is going to be on this tree back here through this window. So all you have to do is like a full charge.
Revealing area.
There you go. And this is going to scan most people on site. It's going to scan people who are sitting right here in lane. It's not going to get people who are behind this wall on lane. And then it's going to scan people who are sitting stairs, and It can also catch people if like they're peeked out a bit on market. So that dart gets a lot of the site, but you can also do a few different ones. So if they tend to shoot the tree dart a lot,
Revealing area.
I have another dart that you can do. So you want to go in this corner right here, aim at this sign. You're going to aim at the corner right here where the green is on the island. So aim at the corner. One bounce.
Scanning
Full
ahead.
charge. And it's going to land over here. So it's going to scan people on stairs as well. It's going to catch some people on site. It might not catch people who are sitting back here, tucked away in the corner. But it'll definitely catch people on stairs, some on site, and some people who are sitting here as well. If you want to dart for lane, so if there's people that are just sitting here on lane and you're having a hard time dealing with them, you can go ahead and dart this tree over here.
Scanning
Just do a
ahead.
full charge, just right about there. And there you go. This is gonna scan everybody on lane. And one more dart you can do if anybody is playing in by the switch right here. Most the other darts don't catch them, but if you want to dart right about
Revealing
here,
area.
that is going to scan everybody in the switch building right here. It can also catch people playing right here as well. And this is mostly for either switch, stairs, or market. It doesn't really scan anybody on site. But those are the best darts for this site. For mid, it's kind of hard to get a good dart from tiles. You could do a full charge dart right here. And that's going to catch people trying to do like an aggressive peek through mid. And it can catch people if they're peeking market from right here. But they can kind of hide from it easily. And then for cat, it's kind of hard to catch people because they can hide pretty easily from the dart there. But a really good one you could do, if you're coming from top cat, so basically what you need to do is you want to line up the corner of this building with this wall. So let me show you what that looks like. It's right about here, and then you're going to aim your crosshair. So you see this mark on the wall, and then this wire. You want to put your crosshair below the wire right here, kind of lined up with the little mark. And then you want to do 2 bounce, full charge.
Revealing area.
And that's going to land right here, and that's going to catch people peeking out from market. So that can be really good if you're trying to push cat, because either they have to destroy it, it'll slow them down if they're trying to do like an aggressive peek. And for offense on A, a good dart you could do is go into this corner where these 2 boxes are, and you're going to aim up at this little piece of debris right here. Put your crosshair above it and just do a 1 bar.
Revealing area.
That is going to land right here. It's going to get everybody behind generator. It's going to get everybody behind dice. It can get people if they're like relatively peeked out right here on heaven, but most of the time it's not going to get everybody on heaven at all, so just keep that in mind. But it's also going to get everybody, you know, camping by bricks or by switch, so it's going to get most of the site except for heaven. If you want a dart that plays more for heaven, you could go into the corner right here. Just make sure you have teammates watching this so they don't push at the beginning of the round. And you're going to aim at this little like streak right here, aim at the tip of it, do a 1 bar.
Ahead.
That's going to land right over here. That's going to scan everybody in this lane on heaven. It can also get everybody behind generator.
Right here.
And behind dice. It can get people who or on switch in that area. It can't scan people who are like kind of tucked in the corner right here, and it won't scan people behind generator on this side or hell. So you just got to be careful when you're using this dart and keep those spots in mind, but it will scan everybody in heaven. Alright, now for bind. So on defense, the best place to place Sova would be on B, because he has a really good dart that you can do on long. So let me show you what that looks like. So at the beginning of the round, once the barrier goes down, you're going to run out here to long and full charge, and you're going to aim somewhere on this wall right here. So anywhere on this wall right here. Space, you want to run out, shoot one real quick. Basically, that's going to get anybody walking up from here or from here, and scan them so you get information for long. Usually you're going to want to have someone playing hookah. And one tip about this dart is if you don't scan anybody or no one shoots you dart, make sure you get the orb. Because it's basically a free orb if it doesn't scan anybody. Because you'll be protected if you try to get the orb. If you're retaking B, so a good retake dart, you can kind of shoot on this wall right here.
Revealing area.
And what that's gonna do is gonna scan people who are hiding in the cubby. It can get people playing back sight. They can hide from it in the tube, but you can also scan people who are kind of peeked out from elbow, because it'll be right here. But mainly it's to clear back sight with it in the cubby. And if you're playing A on defense, there's a couple darts that you could do. So you could go over to this corner right here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you can kind of aim your crosshair right about here. Do one bounce, 2-bar,
Standing ahead.
and that'll land back here. And it'll scan people trying to push short. So anybody coming out from right here or here. And then for showers, you want to go in the same spot, and you want to make sure that you're on this corner right here. So right as you step up onto the higher, like a little bar right here, you want to stop, and then you want to aim at this building right here. Rest your crosshair kind of in the center of the roof, and you want to do a 2-bar.
Revealing area.
And that is going to scan people who are pushing showers. It's anybody right here, and it can also scan people from right here. And that's good info for showers. And if you're retaking this site, a good dart to do is simply just click over the truck right here, and that's going to clear anybody hiding in the pocket right here behind these crates. It can catch people on outside U-Haul too, and anybody on default. You could also dart over here by bench.
Revealing area.
Because a lot of people like to tuck themselves in here, especially when it's planted by double stack over here. So those would be the best 2 darts to retake. It's kind of hard to get everybody, since you have U-Haul. They could be playing up short a little bit, but those are your 2 best options for this site. Alright, and then offense for B. So really great dart for long is you want to tuck yourself against the walls right here, and you want to go up until you can see this little like sign right here, but not all the way. So you want to go right about here to where you can put your crosshair, like tuck it in under it and to the left of the wall. And basically you're going to do 1 bounce and full charge.
Standing ahead.
And that's going to land back here, and that'll get everybody in garden, anybody who's peeking out on long, or if like they're across here already. So that's a really good dart to stop anybody from getting a good peek on you at long, and that'll allow you to move up. And for sight, this dart's a little bit more difficult, but it's a really good dart if you can pull it off. So basically, you want to tuck yourself into this corner. Make sure you have teammates pushed up the hookah, because they can just easily just peek out right here. So make sure you have at least people watching the doorway. And you're gonna want to aim up at this building, at this like arrow right here. Center your crosshair in the middle right here, and you want to go a little bit to the right and do a 2-bar.
Revealing area.
And it should land right here. And that's gonna get people, everybody playing backside, even if they're like right here, tucked up by the double stack. They can obviously hide it from it in tube, but it also gets cubby. It can get people who are hiding right here in this cheeky little corner. It actually gets a lot of the sight. You know, if they're hiding right here, just not really if they're playing at elbow, but it actually gets a lot of the sight. So if you can pull it off, that's a really good dart. But otherwise, you can go for like dart right here.
Standing ahead.
And then I'll also get backside and get a lot of areas. It's just harder because you have to peek up a little bit farther. It's not as safe. But either of those darts will work. Alright, and for A, the main dart you're going to want to be doing is kind of just against this back wall
Standing ahead.
on the site. That'll get everybody back sight, behind truck, behind triple stack, in the pocket right here. It can get people who are sitting in this close angle right here for showers, and also this close area for short. You can dart for U-Haul, but you have to peek out a little bit, so it's kind of unsafe. So I'd only do it if you have teammates with you watching that angle, but it can be useful for getting people on U-Haul. Otherwise, you might just want to use your recon drone to clear it. And then for showers, all you need to do is peek out slightly and dart against this wall right here. And that's going to get everybody in showers and let your team move up. Or you can use your recon drone for it if you want to dart the site from short. But those are the best darts to attack A with. Alright, now for Breeze. So defense on Breeze, A is a great place to play Sova on, because your dart can be really useful for getting info in caves. So a good dart on New Breeze is the wall kind of stretches out a little bit more right here on caves. So you kind of just want to aim anywhere on this gray line all the way on the right. You want to do a full charge.
Revealing area.
This general area. And that's going to get people peeking out from shop right here, and it'll also get people who are peeking out in the back of caves right here. So all the way if they're like from right here. And then from shop if they peeked out right here. So that's a really great dart for getting info on A. And if you want to retake this site, this dart is decent. You're going to be a little bit exposed, so make sure you have control of a bridge, and just beware that they can also peek you from right here where the shipping crate is. But basically you want to go on top of this pole right here, and you want to aim in between this crack between these two buildings. Put your crosshair right about here, and you want to do a 2-bar.
Revealing area.
And that's going to go all the way back there. It's going to get people behind bricks, which is a common spot for people to play post-plant. Anybody behind the pyramids. It can actually get people all the way to like right here. If they're peeked out a lot more, they won't scan them. But it's going to get a good amount of the site, and it's going to make it easier to retake. If you want to dart for mid from A, you could go here at the beginning of the round. Do a full charge right here, and then I'll get everybody pushing up from mid right here. And if you're playing halls on A, you can just do a full charge and kind of aim for this wall on the right back here.
Scanning ahead.
Just about that general area. And that's going to scan people who are going up to halls, and it can also get people who are going to shop or caves. If you want to play for mid, you can peek out and nest, and you want to aim your crosshair at the top where this foliage is, and you want to put your crosshair kind of to the right.
Scanning
Do a
ahead.
2-bar. And that's going to scan people walking up mid, and it can also scan people who are walking up to elbow right there for B. And if you're playing on B, the best dart you could do is right here on the line on the wall.
Revealing area.
And that's going to scan people walking through elbow to main, or if they're in the window. Alright, and then for retake arrows for B, there's not really any good retake darts. If you're coming through CT, the best thing you could do is do a dart against
Scanning
the
ahead.
back wall. And then that's going to scan everybody in the lane right here, and then anybody behind pillar. Just be careful because you do have to peek out a little bit when you're shooting this dart. But if you're coming from mid doors from A, as an example, you could do a dart in mid right here. It's also a little bit exposed, but you can tuck yourself in by this box. Basically, you want to go in the corner where this box is, and you want to aim up right here, and you want to put the diamonds of your charge bar for the bounces right above this little part right here. And you want to do a 1-bar.
Revealing area.
And this is going to be a pretty similar spot to where the other dart landed. It's going to be a little bit lower though, so it's not going to hit everybody behind pillar, but it can hit everybody in the lane right here. So that's another dart you can do if you're coming from mid. You could also just do a dart against
Scanning
the back
ahead.
wall that's a little bit higher up. It'll scan better, but the thing is you just have to peek out. This is kind of a dangerous thing to do because they could be holding the angle to mid. So those are your options for retakes. Alright, and now for A. So there's 2 darts that I have for you guys, and one of them is really difficult to pull off, but it's from a very safe spot, and it's a very good dart if you're able to land it in the right place. So let me show you that one first. Alright, so for this dart, you want to go into this corner right here, and you're going to aim up at this part of this little shipwreck. And basically, you want the R in charge for the charge bar UI. You want to kind of tuck it into the corner of this light gray part to like where those 2 parts meet, if that makes sense. So like right about here. And you want to do a full charge, and don't move your mouse.
Revealing area.
So your reticle is going to go up a little bit, or it's going to look like it goes up a little bit when you do a full charge, but do not move it after you do that. And basically it's going to land right here. And that's going to get everybody behind pyramids. It's going to get anybody in the pocket right here. It can get people on these stairs right here. So literally anywhere on the stairs, since it's going to be right around here, it'll scan them. It can get anybody like peeking back here. They can hide from it behind orange right here. But it will get everybody behind pyramids for sure. Anybody right here. It might get somebody back here. Probably not though. So this is like one place you'd have to clear. And it would get anybody holding this close angle. Or this angle right here. Some people like to hide in this spot. But it gets a lot of areas in sight. Alright, and for B, I have 2 darts for you guys. So this first one's kind of geared towards getting everybody backside.
Right here.
So like in this
Right
lane.
here.
It can get people like behind the pillar as well. So what you're going to want to do is go to this cannon right here. That's kind of towards the closest spawn. And you're going to go into the corner. And you're going to aim up at this cannon right here. You want to line the middle left charge line up with the little point on this cannon, if that makes sense. So let me show you. It's like right about here. And you want to do a 3-bar.
Scanning ahead.
Let me show you where that lands. It's going to land right here. It's going to get everybody in the lane. And it can also scan people behind pillar. So that's really useful for getting people who are sitting back here. But the thing is, it doesn't get like people hiding back here or behind the half wall, or even like kind of sitting close right there. So another dart that you could do, it's a little bit harder to remember, but basically you're gonna go into this corner right here until you're all the way in the corner. Just be careful that in case they do a like aggressive push out into main. But basically what you're gonna want to do is look at this line of like leaves, and so you want to look at the part where it's going down the lowest, basically, and that's how you remember where to aim. And you're gonna go down, and there's like a little white part right here, and you're gonna aim at the center and do one bounce and then full charge. So you want to aim below where the lowest point on these leaves are, and at this little white part right here.
Scanning ahead.
Boom. It's gonna land right here. It's gonna scan everybody half wall. They can get people behind here, behind the pillar, and behind the wall right here, unless they're all the way tucked in. So that's a good option if you want to get people hiding behind half wall, on site, and sometimes back site, but they can hide from it if they're in this corner of the way. But if they're kind of like sitting back here, you know, trying to hold this angle, they will get scanned by it. So that's also another good option, and you can mix up those darts to execute this site. Okay, now for Icebox. So on defense for Sova, the best place you can play is actually mid. And let me show you why. You want to dart A?
Scanning ahead.
Boom. You want to dart mid?
Scanning ahead.
Boom. You want to dart B?
Revealing area.
You want to dart B?
Revealing area.
Boom. So you can dart pretty much all 3 areas from mid. So let me slow down and show you the exact places. So for A, basically just want to aim along this wall right here. People like to dart this area too from offense, but if you dart just kind of anywhere generally on this wall,
Scanning
do
ahead.
full charge, it's gonna land right there. It can get some people on belt, but mainly it's gonna get people who are pushing up through here, below pipes, or if they're on pipes, or sometimes if they're like peeking the nest right here. And for mid, basically you're just gonna want to
Revealing area.
place it somewhere on this blue kind of tarp. So let me do that again, and I'll show you
Scanning ahead.
where they can see it from. So yeah, it's gonna catch like everybody that's going up mid. So that's a good dart if you want to catch people mid. And then for B, basically you're gonna want to. So there's kind of 2 ways you can do this for B. So you can do a 1 bounce full charge, and as soon as the barrier drops,
Revealing area.
you just kind of want to aim somewhere along this like line right here, and it's gonna bounce off of that and hit the crate right here. Let me do that again and show it for you.
Scanning ahead.
Let me show you. It's gonna land right here. It's gonna get everybody right here. Another way you could do the dart for B, it's a little bit easier if you don't want to bounce it off of here, is you could aim it at this back
Right here.
wall over here.
Scanning
Just kind of
ahead.
do like a full charge, and that's kind of basically do the same thing. That's gonna scan everybody going long on B. If you want to play on site on A, there's also a couple darts you could do that are pretty good for early info. So a pretty common one is you could just shoot it against the back wall right here.
Scanning ahead.
And that's going to scan everybody walking in these doorways right here and going up belt. It is a little hard to shoot unless they're just like waiting for it because they have to look backwards. Another good dart that you could do is you want to go to rafters in the corner right here, and you're going to want to put your crosshair right below the rope on this darker gray line above pipes. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then you want to do 1 bounce and 3 bar.
Revealing area.
It's going to land right here. And it's going to get people walking out right here. And it's also going to get people who are creeping up belt. And those are the 2 good darts for A if you want to play on site. And then for retakes on A, so there's a couple options you have. One is that you can dart against this back wall right here.
Standing ahead.
That's going to scan people in maze. If they're sitting by the generator right here. If they're sitting back here, taking this angle on screens, I can get them. You can't always get people if they're sitting in the middle because they can tuck against this wall. And they can tuck against the generators too. Another option is if you're going from the stairs, you could dart kind of just somewhere on that panel right here. And this is going to be easier for scanning people in the middle. It can scan people sitting generators as well, and they can't hide from it there. It can also get people sitting here, but it doesn't get maze, just be careful of that. And you could also dart that same arrow from earlier onto A on this part of the wall. And that's going to get people who are sitting pipes, who are sitting back here, maybe trying to play for time. Or if they're on belt. And some people like to do lineups from back here, so that's a good arrow for clearing out that area. And if you find yourself playing on B, of course you could just dart the back wall right here, to get everybody pushing up from there. And if you wanted to dart mid from B, so like from nest, it doesn't really matter where you stand. You want to do 1 bounce and do like a full charge and aim at this gray area right here, and it's going to bounce and hit the same area that you would dart if you were playing mid, if you wanted to dart for mid. And then for B, you could do like an arrow back like behind yellow or something, but it is kind of risky to peek out and do that, even though it does cover a good area. So a lineup I have for you guys is you go up here to the doorway of kitchen. You do have to be careful that no one is in kitchen, so I would make sure you have teammates that are pushing that or holding that. And you want to go in the corner right here, and you're going to look up at this green shipping crate, look at the door, and you're going to want to put your crosshair like diagonal to the left side point of the door that's pointing out. So about right here. And then you're just going to want to do a 1 bar.
Revealing area.
And that's going to land right here. It's going to get everybody behind yellow. It's also going to scan people back here on long as well. They can't hide it from it in certain spots, but that would be the best arrow for clearing or revealing everybody back here. Alright, and then for offense, so for A, there's 2 darts that you could do. So a really good dart is if you go against this wall right here or against the barrier before the round starts, you want to aim at this part of this wall. So let me show you up close where you want the dart to land. So you want it to land like this against the wall. And once it needs to be sticking out for it to work the best. And you want it to shoot it from here and have it land that way. So what you're going to want to do is go against this wall. And you're going to want to put your crosshair slightly to the left from this line that you see. So right about there. You want to do a full charge.
Revealing area.
And there you go. And what that's going to do is going to get people who are on pipes who are in maze. It can get some people in middle sight if they're like peeking out like this on the head glitch. It's also really good for getting people who are peeking out back sight from right here or from rafters, because they either have to shoot the dart or run away from it, and that could be useful against people who are opping up here. And another dart you could do that's more geared towards getting people like middle sight and behind generator is you could do it doesn't really matter where, basically you just want to have it land like up here. So you just do like a 2-bar, and you want to land somewhere up here, and that's going to scan everybody in middle sight. You can get people behind gen right here if they're holding like very close angle, and it could get people on maze if they're not all the way in maze, like if they're trying to hold the angle on belt. But those are the two best options for A. Also on A, a good spot to dart after you get your dart back during the round if you're still alive. It's really good to dart above screens, because there's a high traffic area on retakes. So always dart this area when you're trying to hold the sight on A. For mid, if you want to get people who are sitting on boiler or even by pallet, basically you just want to shoot it along this side of the black area of the wall.
Revealing area.
And that's going to scan people peeking boiler, and it can also reach people who are on pallet right here. So let me show you that again.
Scanning ahead.
There you go. You want to shoot it as close to this side, so it'll be harder for them to hide from it if they're sitting pallet. But it should always get people who are peeking from boiler. Alright, and then for B, I have a good dart for B long, but it's a little hard to do. So let me show you what it is. So basically, don't peek out all the way, but you want to line up this wall with this wall. You want to peek out until they're just lined up, and then you want to aim at the N on this logo. You want to aim at the top half of the N. I know that sounds complicated, but it's a really good dart. And you want to do 1 bounce, full charge.
Scanning ahead.
And that's going to land right here. And it's going to get everybody sitting in this cubby. Anybody sitting right here, like if they're peeking from yellow. So that's a really good dart to let your team move up early. So let me just show you that again. Line up these 2 walls. Top half of the N, 1 bounce.
Revealing area.
There you go. And that should get everybody yellow. You can't really hide that well from it unless you're going behind here. So if you're pushing sight, just make sure you clear this side of the yellow, but it's really hard for them to hide from it without having to shoot it out first. And then once you're moved up to yellow, a good dart to do is you can do snowman after you get your dart back again. So you can dart back there. Another good dart is on this thing right here, because it can scan people who are walking up here. You can also dart just right here to get people walking up this way. So you can do any of those 3 options to get people in those 3 areas, and that'll help you execute the site. Alright, and for the final map we have Haven. So a great place to play Sova on Haven would be A. You can play other sites too, but Sova is really good on A because he can get info for a lobby really well from his dart, and it's really hard to get info otherwise from that area, because they can cross really fast. So let me show you a good dart for a lobby. So you want to go to long right here where the barrier is. Go up through this center line right here, all the way. And before the barrier drops, you're gonna want to aim right here. So basically you want to line up the bottom layer of this stack of bricks with this little mark down here. And you want to aim about right here. And you're gonna do a double bounce, full charge. So let me show you what that looks like.
Eyes up. Revealing area.
There you go. It's gonna land right here. And it's going to get everybody walking into here as well as if they're still out here. And even if they shoot it, you're going to have info that they're in a lobby. So that's a really good dart for A. One more thing about this dart on A on defense is that once you shoot it, it's really easy to farm the orb right here every round. Because if they don't shoot it, then you're completely safe right here. So when you're using this dart, make sure you try to get that orb if they don't shoot it. But if you get a scan or they shoot out the dart, make sure you back off. If you're playing B, a good dart you could do to catch people on grass who are trying to go to garage, or even if they hop out the window right here, is you just want to aim anywhere along this red line on the right side of the wall.
Scanning ahead.
Just do like a full charge. And it's going to catch everybody walking up to garage, or if they're walking up here to mid, or even if they are peeking out in the window right here. Now it's a little bit hard to scan them if they're in the window because they can do like a tiny peek right here, but that would be the best start to catch people in mid. And if you're playing garage, you can just do like a one bar out here. It also really works well for catching people trying to push mid. And then if you're playing C, a good dart that you could do is you want to line yourself up with this line right here. That's like right next to the cable right here. So you want to line yourself up with that, go all the way back, and you want to put the very left side of your charge bar lined up with this panel on the roof. So you can just kind of think of it as like the panel that sticks out the most. And you want to put your bar right there. And you're going to do a one bar.
Scanning ahead.
That's going to travel over here. And it'll land right here. And it's going to get everybody that is going out long. And it can sometimes get people if they're like still right here. But I always get people that are running out here to long. So that way you don't need to peek out and dart. And that one's a lot better. For A, for retake, a really good dart is you want to go in this corner right here. And basically, you want to have it hit this corner of the roof. So what you want to do is line up the left diamond for the bounces on your UI. You want to line it up and tuck the left corner of it into this little corner. Let me show you. So like right here. And you want to do a full charge.
Scanning ahead.
And that's going to get pretty much all of sight. So like, it can get them if they're peeked out a little bit behind these boxes. But there's not really many places they can hide from it. So like hell, and then those boxes over there are pretty much the only place they can hide from that dart. But basically it's going to get almost the entire site. So that's a really great retake dart for A. If you're retaking C, one dart you could do is go in this corner right here. And you're going to want to aim at this wall. So there's some lines where the bricks are. And basically you want to line it up about right here where the lines intersect. But if you can't see it, just kind of like in this general area. So you want to do one bounce and a full charge right about here.
Scanning ahead.
That's going to land right here. And that's going to get everybody hiding back here, hiding on logs. It can get them behind here as well. So that's going to get most of the site, but it won't get everything because they can hide from it from here, or they can be back here, taking a close angle. So that's one good way to do a retake dart. If you want, you could also just aim out really quickly and
Scanning
shoot the
ahead.
dart right there. You want to make sure it lands on this wall, or as close to it as you can. You don't want it to land right here. It's a little bit risky because you have to peek out a little bit,
Revealing area.
but that's also another way you can do it. Either way works. Alright, and now for offense. So you have a few options for A. If you want to dart long at the beginning of the round, you want to go into this corner right here, back up all the way, and you're going to want to aim right about here. So above these two leaves that are like pointed inwards, and you want to kind of aim your crosshair right about here. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you want to do just a 1 bar.
Revealing area.
And that's going to land right here. That's going to scan everybody peeking long about until here. And if you want to dart for sight, one way you could do it is from spawn, from garden. You want to line up the roof with this building until it lines up about here. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you just do a 2 bar.
Scanning ahead.
And that's going to land up there. It's going to get everybody right here. Anybody right here. It can also get people on long as well. It just won't scan them as quick as the one that lands up here. If you want to do that same dart from long, you could climb up on this box right here, or this crate. And you can aim up at like the center of this line right here, and you can just do a 1 bar.
Scanning ahead.
And it's going to land like a little bit higher, but basically the same spot, and it's going to get a lot of sight from that. This dart's really good because it can get everybody behind default right here. It can get them if they're hiding in the corner right here. It can scan people if they are holding sewers. They can hide from it if they're tucked in the corner right here, but if they do, they're out in the open, and if you peek them from sewers, then you can kill them. And for B, one dart that gets most of the sight is you want to aim at this line right back here. And you want to make sure it hits that line, so you could kind of aim like higher right
Scanning
here.
ahead.
It's a little bit hard to pull off
Revealing area.
on the fly, but basically that's where you want it to land, because it's going to get everybody back sight. It can get people back here, and it can also scan people like if they're over here, and if they're over right about here. It can't always get people who are in the front right here, but that's the best to get the most out of the sight that you can. If you want to dart garage, what you can do is you can go against the barrier at the beginning of the round, and you're going to aim on the left door of garage, on the top part, like panel, and you want to make sure it's close to this, your crosshair is close to this door, but not too much where it's going to hit the door. So like right about here, you want to do a double bounce and 2 bars. Let me show what that looks like.
Come into the unknown. Scanning ahead.
There you go. It's going to land right here, get anybody behind here or in the hallway right here. And it can also get people who are peeking window. They can't hide from it, but it'll help you push up to the garage safely. Alright, and then for C, there's 2 darts that I have for you guys. There's an easy one and then a harder one. The harder one works more effectively because it's harder to shoot, but the easy one is a lot better, easier to pull off. So the easy one is you want to go in this corner right here, aim up at this leaf right here, at the little point, and you want to put your crosshair right above it, and do a 1 bar.
Revealing area.
That's going to land up here, and that's going to get everybody logs behind default, get people by platform right here. It can also get people who are sitting behind the 2 green boxes right here, anybody right there. But it can't get people if they're like tucked in the default right here or behind this. And that's where it could get countered a lot of times. But the harder dart gets everybody, so let me show you that one. It's basically, you want to line up this wall, you see this line right here, with this wall. You want to line those up, you want to crouch, and you're going to aim kind of towards the corner of this little wooden thing on the roof. Do 1 bounce, full charge.
Scanning ahead.
There you go, that's gonna hit up there, and they cannot hide from it, like anywhere on site. The only place they could hide from it is like right here, but obviously like they're just gonna be standing out in the open. But they can't hide anywhere. They can't hide from it from logs. It'd be right there. They can't hide from it back here at all. It peeks out a little bit. So that's going to get everywhere on the site. That's basically like the God Dart for this site. Alright, and that's everything for this Sova guide. If this video helped you out in any way, leave a like and subscribe. And let me know what agent you guys want to see in the next guide. Thanks for watching.